Hello, hello, welcome to Guitar Chat. Here we are once again, Guitar Chat number 35. This is something, we've been doing this. This is the number 35 edition of this program. And of course, as you probably know already, Guitar Chat is brought to you by Vegatrem, the best tremolo systems in the market, for sure. As always say, we always have such a good time, with all our guests talking about music, about guitars, about gear, about, past experiences, present and future experiences as well. And we are very happy to be creating this big family, of course, you guys at the other side of the screen are the most important part of this show. So for all that, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Besides that, as you know probably already, we are doing every program we're doing a giveaway, a VT1 giveaway, which is very cool. The only thing you have to do is you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You have to be subscribed, and during our live stream, just leave a comment. Just say hi, say whatever you want to say. Maybe you can ask a question to our guest as well. Just whatever you have in mind, whatever you feel like saying, you can just leave a comment for us. We really appreciate that. And the good thing about that is that you're gonna be eligible to get a VT1 completely free, which is amazing in my opinion. So I'm gonna say the name of the winner of the last giveaway. So the winner is John Freddy Clavijo. Eres el ganador de el giveaway de la semana pasada, John Freddy Clavijo. Congratulations, you won this time. So maybe this week we're gonna have a new winner, of course. Also, during this interview, I'm gonna be saying a discount code, with which you can go to our website and get a discount. You can buy as many units as you want. You can use the code just once, but you can buy 3, 4, or even 10, whatever, with the discount, which is a very cool thing as well. So, without further ado, let's talk about today's guest. This week on Guitar Chat, we will have the founder of an impressive guitar brand that has been delivering top quality instruments since 1985, Maybach guitars. Industrial assembly line production of guitars is unthinkable for everyone on the team, as they claim. Therefore, we can expect the best attention to detail on these instruments handmade in the heart of Europe. About the whole process, the history of the brand, and their new releases, we are going to talk with Toni Götz, CEO of Maybach Guitars. Welcome, Toni. How are you doing today?
Hi, Sefo. Good to see you. Thank you for the invitation and nice to be here. Hi, guys.
Well, it's a pleasure having you. I mean, I have to say that the background that we have in the guitar is one of your creations, and we're so proud, so happy. Well, we'll talk about that particular guitar maybe later, because first we want to know about all your company, your past, how you started with this journey and everything. But we're very happy. First of all, the picture is amazing. The guitar looks gorgeous, and of course it features one of our Vegatrems. So we are very, very proud of having this relationship with your company, of course.
Yes, I have to say that we are also proud to be a partner with the guys from Vegatrem. It's pretty new. So we started the relationship last year. I guess it was somewhere in May, June or so. And well, when they sent us the first set, the first sample, we were really totally enthusiastic and said, "Well, this is amazing." And we we decided within a few days to make or create a guitar, especially made for the Vegatrem, and it is what you guys all can see in the
Uh-huh.
background. It's a S-style guitar with a single and humbucker. configuration, 22 frets. So it's a for us it's new, but it's of course it's nothing. We didn't invent the new wheel, but it's but it's something we thought, okay, this might fit very good in our portfolio. And from the first, how to say, introduction on, we got a great response from our players. And well, so we think that in May or so, if nothing comes in between, the first guitars will be available.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, because yeah, you just told me this is like a modern take for Maybach, right? Because normally you guys focus more in a more classic vibe in guitars, right? But we're gonna talk about that a little later. But I would like to know about, you know, how did you start with this whole project? Tell me a little bit about your, you know, when you started with music, because you are a guitar player yourself mostly, right? If I'm not wrong, that's what you are, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I came to the to change the other side of the table means from being an active musician to go to into the guitar business, making guitars. Uh, of course, this all is based on my experience or my uh, love to music. I mean, I always loved music. I played guitar when I started playing guitar when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
And I made a very conservative classic education study at a university, high school of music. And then
Uh-huh.
in 1983 I changed the sides of the table. Means I jumped in to the music industry, not making guitars but just selling guitars.
Okay.
And then it was in 2007, 8, we started thinking about founding a guitar brand and building guitars, what we do now, together with friends, with some really good luthiers. And that was the time when Maybach appeared, um, in the, let's say, at least here in Germany. And it took us more than 13 years to be there where we are now.
Wow. So then I think I made a mistake because I said before that you guys started in 1995, something like that, but that's not.
No, that
So Maybach itself didn't start till 2007, something like that.
yeah,
Is that
yeah, that's correct. I mean, we founded Maybach in 2008, so it's roughly 14 years ago. And I guess the first Maybachs were we exhibited in, it was 2010, I guess, in Frankfurt at the Music Messe. We showed just a few guitars. I mean, at the very beginning, we made just a T-style guitar and an LP style guitar. That's it. And in the meantime, the portfolio is, we have 12, 13 models in the meantime. It's really good.
nice, nice. So let me ask you something. You said before that you started selling guitars, getting into that industry just by selling, probably buying as well. What makes you take the next step and start building your own brand? Did you feel that there was a spot for your company for in the market?
Yes, we had the idea to build guitars that are as close as possible um, at the old guitars in from the 50s and 60s. That was the idea.
Okay.
And then we said, okay, not making these guitars in China or somewhere, making these guitars here in Europe. And we started to with a good friend of mine, with Nick Page, that is now our master builder, and he has a great knowledge about old guitars, vintage guitars, dimensions, how were they built, and all the, let's say, the, well, secrets how to make a really good guitar. And that was the our idea to start with that. I mean, it was a big task because at that time there was no competition, and there is still no competition. I mean, there are, of course, lots of small builders making, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 guitars per month. But I mean, our idea was to make guitars, very good guitars, at an affordable price for players, for working musicians. That was the idea.
Nice. So do you think you succeeded in that idea? I mean, I guess my question is, most of your users, of the Maybach users, are they professional musicians? Are they working touring musicians? So do you see your instruments on the road a lot?
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, we, of course, we have this. We get lots of feedback from musicians saying, "Hey, I live in Sweden and I have got one of your guitars," and blah blah blah, you know, all these things. And then we have these Maybach user club, or what it is, on Facebook, and there are lots of working musicians. Of course, we can't, it's impossible to know everybody, but we see that the people love the guitars. We take care about the musicians if they have a problem, because I mean, a guitar is a guitar. It's a wooden instrument,
Yeah.
and there can always happen something, you know. And then we see, okay, these guys playing in that band and in that band, and we have lots of, I have to say, serious musicians in the meantime worldwide that are using our guitars, love the guitars. I remember we have shipped guitars even to Colombia, to
Nice.
South Korea, to China, to Ecuador, to Canada, and wherever, you know, in the world. And that's really big fun to communicate with these musicians, to say, okay, what they ask us, what can you do? And we say, okay, we can make it happen. I mean, and well, that's really fun.
That's awesome. So I guess you guys try to keep a very fluid connection with your
Oh yes,
customers,
oh yes,
and
yes,
in that way. So for instance, because I think you guys have like the normal production, right? And besides that, you guys have the custom shop in which
yes,
people can order very specific things, right?
yes.
So do you guys like to do that, or can you guys do that on the other, like the normal guitars till a certain extent, or not?
Yes, yes, that's right. I mean, basically, I have to say, once you have a standard production, I mean, even I mean, the word standard shouldn't really interpret it as cheap or what. No, standard means it's an organized production with set specs.
Uh-huh.
So it's clear. For instance, a T-style guitar has 2 single coils, has these and these colors, has I don't know, a maple neck, or a maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard, and etc. But now it comes to that point where, for instance, it was yesterday. A customer says, "I would like to have a T-style guitar, but I would like to have this with this pickup setting. Can I have this bridge? Can I have a rosewood neck? I mean, an entire rosewood neck,
Oh
uh,
wow.
not only a rosewood fingerboard.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and I would like to have this and this color, etc., etc. I would like to have a compound radius and blah and blah. That's not possible to make it in a standard production. That's simply impossible because it would really, uh, well, we would have to make a big. It would be a big challenge. I would say it's impossible.
I understand. So in those cases, probably you have to go to the custom shop, right?
Yes, that's the only way. And then, there's the name from the very beginning. So the customer wants, for instance, I don't know, a single piece body. I don't know, maybe a moon spruce body, which sounds fantastic, by the way. And and then
What was that wood? I'm sorry, the body you just said.
well, it's spruce,
Spruce.
alpine, yes, alpine spruce, for instance,
Okay.
and it's cut in the Swiss or Italian Alps, very high, and they
Nice.
cut it at a certain time when the wood has very little water, very little. Um, the humidity is very low, etc., and then they cut it.
Okay.
And for instance, they cut it last week, and we purchased roughly, I don't know, 100, single piece bodies, and that's very rare, of course.
Uh-huh.
And this is something we only use for the custom shop because it would be too expensive to put it in a standard production, and then everybody would say, "Well, the guys from Maybach, they are crazy. The guitars are so expensive." But you know, I mean, the wood thing, the entire getting wood or hunting wood, what I always say to our guys,
Uh-huh.
that's a challenge in the meantime. It's not easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you guys do you guys go through a lot of trouble to find the right woods all the time and the right treatment for the woods?
Yes, I mean, well, the alpine spruce, for instance, that's for us easier to find because we live in the south of Germany. So the next city, bigger city is Würzburg. So that's about to the Italian border, roughly 300, no, sorry, 450 kilometers roughly. That's not so far. But if you go, for instance, to I don't know, American red alder or something, that's impossible to travel to United States. So there are wood companies here in Germany. Thank God we have big and reliable good guys,
Okay.
and they tell us, okay, we have purchased, I don't know, maybe 10 cubic meter or whatever, and then they select it for us, take the weight, etc., and that's the material we build our guitars from.
Nice, nice. I'm curious as to when you guys get a because I mean I've never been to a guitar factory. I would love to be there,
You
one
are
day.
invited.
Well,
You can.
it would be a pleasure, to be there one day. But I'm curious as to you guys have to sometimes throw away pieces of wood that are not good enough for the instrument. Does that ever happen?
Well, no, because the thing is that we, let's say, the pre-selection we already do and always do. That gives us at least the guarantee that all the woods we have. I mean, well, they make the selection. I have to say, the way is they make the selection. We go there and double check it. I really can assure you that we take each piece of wood in our hands. We take the weight and everything, and then it goes to Maybach. Not before. We would never make a blind purchase.
Got it,
Never.
got it. I understand. You guys take also care of the weight because sometimes I
Oh
mean
yes.
seems like a trend nowadays because I remember back in the day it was kind of a people would think that the heavier a guitar was the better it sounded, but I think now it's the opposite. What's your take on that?
Yeah. Well, I think, well, you have to see, or the answer has to be from two sides. You know, there are two worlds,
Okay.
and two philosophies. Well, if the wood is too light, well, maybe the resonance can be a little bit
Compromise.
weak. Maybe.
Yeah.
If the wood is too heavy, you have to consider, well, if you are on stage with a guitar on your back for, I don't know, 2 hours or so, or maybe longer, 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's, I don't, well, I say it's, if it's a 5 kilo guitar, uh, you know what I'm talking about. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and then you have these 5 kilo, and you say, oh my God, why do I have such a heavy guitar?
Yeah. Such a
But
pain in my back, right?
exactly. Well, what I can say is from my experience, or our experience, is really, it depends on the piece of wood. You cannot give a general advice and say, well, this is always like this and it's always, you know. Well, but from the, let's say, from the sales perspective, when we, all the comments we get from the shops, from our dealers, when they say, well, if for instance a T-style guitar has a weight of, what never happens with our guitars, but if it would have 3.8 kilos, 4 kilos, they would say, well, no, we are not interested in that guitar. Maybe it sounds good, but we never sell this guitar.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the, so that's why, just coming back to your first question, if you are really taking care about the weight, yes, we do. That's a very, very important issue for us.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Well, I've got a question here from one of our viewers. His name is James Severin. He's asking us, please, if you could ask Tony if he could help me get a black P90 pick guard for my Maybach Lester. There's no dealers here in the USA, and nobody has been able to help me with this. Thank you.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, so maybe they
Because
can write
because
you.
we no because we have the sheets.
Okay.
We have sheets, and we make it ourselves.
Oh, okay.
If, you know, when I have the, or when we have the dimension, James, if you could send us maybe a drawing or something, or and you tell us what you exactly want to have, then of course we can make it. That's not a big deal.
Okay, well, there you go, James. That's your question answered. He's
James ask, who do I call? Send
yeah.
us an email, please. Send an email to info@i-musicnetwork.com. That's it.
Okay.
Very easy.
Okay, there you go. Well, that's another question answered. Okay, let's keep talking about wood because this is something that I'm very interested in, and you know I've had this debate with some other people. What's the percentage that you would say as an experienced builder owner of a very prestigious brand like Maybach? What's the percentage of tone in the wood compared to us in the pickups? I don't know if that makes sense. So would you say that would be like a 60% versus 40%, wood versus pickups, or the other way around? What's your opinion on that?
Well, wood, of course, is a big part of the sound. I mean, uh, it's not only the wood of the body; it's the combination body and neck. So, well, just coming back to that example, uh, asking this question came from a customer 2 days ago, because he wanted a T-style guitar with a rosewood neck. I mean,
Okay.
entire rosewood neck, and of course, the rosewood neck has a totally different characteristic compared with a maple neck. I mean, you can even hear the big difference between a maple neck and a maple
Uh-huh.
neck with an Indian rosewood fingerboard. That's already, you know that as a guitar player. That's
Yes.
everybody can hear that. These spanky tones, You can't make these super spanky country tones with a Indian rosewood fingerboard. No,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and you would always go for a maple thing, and that's what I say. I mean, and a pickup, of course, is well. I guess the French word is like a microphone or so.
yeah,
But it describes what a pickup stands for.
yeah.
It's a microphone. It's a thing that opens up his ears and tries to make the sound or to hear the sound of the guitar, and but frankly speaking, if you say is this 60% and this is 40%, I would say that wood is more important than the pickup. Uh,
Okay.
this is my opinion. Of course, with a pickup, you can let's say make certain characteristics stronger or lower. I mean that's it. If you know, there are various styles of pickups, of single coils, of humbuckers. Uh, so I mean, there are personal preferences always in the game.
Got it, got it. So tell me about the pickups you guys use here at Maybach.
Mhm.
How I mean, because I think you guys use different types of pickups depending on the guitars you guys are
Yes.
building, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have well for the, let's say, bolt-on guitars. Says what we more have these. I can't. Well, I guess it's allowed to say Fender style guitars.
Yeah.
So these of course these guitars have these typical settings because each player has a certain sound in his ears and a certain imagination how he should, and yeah, how he should sound.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, the target is to make such a lively sound or bring such a lively sound out of the guitar.
Yeah.
And there is, or he starts the search or the talk with the pickup makers. So we have a very good friend here in Germany. His name is Wolfgang Damm. He's the owner of a very small workshop in the very northeast of Germany on the East Sea.
Okay.
The company is called Amber Pickups.
Amber
Um,
pickups.
Amber and Wolfgang is a highly respected maker of pickups. He developed, by the way, for Gibson the P94
Oh,
uh,
okay.
many years ago. And but what I can say is, I mean, we were always in, or we are always in touch with him, discussing with him how can he modify his pickups for us for our guitars, and then we send him uh, unfinished guitars, means guitars without pickups, and he gets the guitars and then he makes the pickups for us.
Oh, nice.
So well, especially for the T-style guitar, we look for very spanky sounds, and then of course we use also combinations similar to the ones Keith Richards is using. You know, you have the puff in neck position and then the single coil in bridge position, etc., etc. So this is something we do, of course, and we offer to our players several configurations and stuff.
Do you normally, depending on the types of wood that you use for a, let's say you have a S style guitar, and you have like a rosewood fingerboard with on maple neck versus totally complete maple neck, you know, would you put a different set of pickups depending on that, or depending on the wood on the body of the guitar?
At a standard model, not no.
Oh,
But
okay,
if you ask, well, I would prefer, I don't know. Well, we have, as I said, we have amber pickups. We work with Chase and Lollar.
okay,
Um, we work with a very tiny US American maker is OC Duffy, which is also very good. And now we are starting with Lindy Fralin as well. So I think there's a pretty wide variety
Oh
of
yeah.
sounds that are possible when choosing a set, you know. And the good thing is that they have nice websites, so the people can listen to the characteristics. That, well, this is does match more my taste, or so. That's something I think that's possible even in the standard things. But
Uh-huh.
if you don't tell us, if you don't say anything, so we just put it the set what we always use.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Pretty interesting. Well, let's also talk about something that I really, really love about your guitars, which is the
Pardon, it was interrupted. Can you just repeat?
uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was saying that something that I really, really love about your guitars is the finishes. The finishes are very, very interesting to me because they have this vintage look, you know, even though they're new instruments, but they have this vintage look. Can you tell me a little bit about that whole process?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, I have to say, because this is something that disturbs me a little bit, because sometimes people say, "Oh, well, I don't like a Relic guitar because well, that's trash and blah and blah." Well, the opposite is the truth. I mean, the a Relic finish or to Relic instruments in general, that's a very, very old procedure and a very old thing. You know, it was never, it's, I would never call it, it's that's trendy or fashion, or it's, well, it's a trend maybe, short
Uh-huh.
living. No, even 500-600 years ago, no active musician wanted to have a new looking instrument. Because they said, well, I'm professional and everybody should see that I play a lot.
That I've played,
I'm
yeah,
professional. I mean,
everywhere.
to show a used instrument was always like a personal card to say I'm professional. Well, I don't.
You,
I don't say if you if you decide to go for a Relic guitar, you are a professional. No, but what I want, no, but what I want to say is that
yeah.
definitely the Relic look
Hmm.
is something I can say at Maybach at least 95% go for that.
Got it.
There's almost there's just a few, you know, that want to have a new looking guitar.
It's pretty interesting what you just said because I never thought about it, you know, like maybe 300-400 years ago, you know, a violinist, you know, like a violin player,
Yeah,
like a classical player, right? Of course, he wanted an old instrument, you know, to appear like a seasoned
yeah, yeah,
musician,
yeah,
right? And
exactly.
I've never thought about it, but it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. It's-
I mean that's why, for instance, especially uh, the violin makers, or making bowed instruments in general, if it is a cello or whatever,
Mhm.
those instruments have always the look of an old instrument, a used instrument. And well, what we do is, I mean, we are in a lucky position that we have a few guys at our workshop that are absolutely experts in doing Relic finishes. Well, we have one guy that worked also in the Czech National Museum,
Okay.
restoring old instruments. So he's familiar with techniques. I mean, we we can't make it in the regular production, but in the custom shop thing, we do really unbelievable things. So the guitars are looking gorgeous then, and they look authentic.
Okay.
Because sometimes you you can see instruments. I'm starting a little bit smiling. I mean, don't want to drop names, but sometimes you see instruments. You say, well, on that instrument where it looks or shows really heavy relic impact,
Uh-huh.
nobody's touching that guitar at that point, or that area. So yeah, I mean, it should look always authentic, and it should look natural, aged, and that's
Uh,
it.
yes, I think I understand what you're saying. So you're saying sometimes people take the relic job maybe too far in till it looks kind of fake, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't look natural. So therefore, the the whole appeal of the relic style is not really there, right? So
Yeah.
I agree with that. You got to be very, very careful, because if you go too far, you can ruin the whole look of the
Yes,
instrument.
yes. I mean, if it's too much, I mean, of course, there are customers saying, "Okay, I want to have a really heavy relic thing." I mean, look at I guess it's the Rory Gallagher Strat or
Oh
so.
yeah, that's right.
There's almost nothing on the guitar. I
Yeah,
mean, there are just a few small pieces of lacquer
yeah,
somewhere, and that's it.
yeah. Or the Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's
Oh
the
yes,
same
yes, yeah,
thing, right? It's the
yeah.
same.
I mean, there are a few examples you can drop here, but I mean, if someone wants it, we can make it. I mean, as long as it's is tasty and has a certain aesthetic appearance, it's okay.
Have you ever denied a customer something that was too crazy for your
Yeah,
criteria, for your
yeah, yeah, yeah.
can,
Yeah.
can you can you tell us about a story about that, or,
Well,
or would you rather
well,
not?
sometimes people are really or wanting have crazy stuff. I mean, this totally insane pig head shapes and stuff. I mean, where we say sorry, no, but this is not. We are not the ones that can build you a dream guitar. I mean, frankly speaking, sometimes I feel that people want to, well, to tease you a little bit or to cheat you, to say, okay, how far do they go?
Uh-huh.
And say yes, yes, yes. Um, Try to fulfill my dream, but I mean, there's a certain red line where we say no. That is sorry. I mean, we don't change the packet. We don't make on a Strat maybe um, a Lester Pickett or some stupid stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
no. I mean, let's say we have the models, and I think we have a pretty uh, good portfolio in terms of models and stuff. And
Uh-huh.
that's it. I mean, if and then sometimes you have to say no. I mean,
Yeah.
don't sell your soul.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, especially if you wanna keep a good reputation, right? As a
Sure,
brand.
sure.
It's
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, sorry that I interrupt you at this point, but the thing is, um, we have to think further. Means if you build a really crazy guitar and you put your name, your label on it,
Uh-huh.
and then maybe in 2 or 3 or 5 years, this guy wants to sell it, and they well, but look at these guys. What are they doing? I mean, it comes back to you in a negative way. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's pretty crazy. I remember in another edition of Guitar Chat we had a guy, a luthier guitar,
mm,
luthier
mhm,
from here, from Spain, and he said that once he did a job that then he regretted a big deal, because that guy, the owner of that guitar, he sold it afterwards, and it was a bad idea. They just removed the lacquer from the neck, and then it was kind of his prestige as a luthier got compromised because of that. So I
mm,
totally get it. Sometimes you shouldn't compromise your brand, right? And
no,
that's I think that's a smart decision to take as a business owner, and of course because then the players are gonna be the ones who are gonna give you credit for your instruments, right?
Exactly. That's it. I mean, it's you have always to, well, look, one of our headlines has always been back to the truth. That means we go back to the guitars, to the early made electric guitars in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
So we are not well, don't misunderstand this. We are not a company that is doing these fashion, more heavy metal guitars like, I don't know, Ibanez or so. I mean, they make great guitars. I don't want to say anything against
Yeah.
them. I think they make great guitars, but they do a different thing. It's and we do a totally different thing. So we are very vintage oriented, and
Oriented brand, yeah.
that's it. That's our thing, and most of the people like the guitars, and then there's a big market. And I think in the meantime the market is so big, everybody can find his dream instrument.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's great. Well, let's talk about probably your latest release. It's the guitar we just have here in the background, and we have let me put a video because we have a video here prepared, and the player, his name's Andreas Martel, right? Did I say
Yes,
that?
yeah, exactly, yes.
Okay. So let me put this video, and then we'll talk about it. Let me see if I can find the downloads. Okay, this one here. Okay. That's an that sounds great. Sounds
Yeah,
beautiful. I really love it. I really love that
thank
tone and the player. I mean, he's tell us a little bit about that guitar
you.
because it's like a more right.
Yeah, it is, yes. I mean, from the well, if you just take a look on the front, you don't, well, you see, of course, the 22 frets, but it's maybe on the second few. And the guitar, well, the pickup configuration is SSH, means two single coils, and one humbucker in the back. So the guitar, there are Van Sant pickups,
Okay.
and well, the Van Sant are very authentic. So you have these typical Jimi Hendrix tone, if you
Yeah.
want. And the humbucker is from Wolfgang, is an amber. So the pickup is called Spirit of 59, and it's a great sounding puff. We use, by the way, in almost all of our Lester guitars, means LP style guitars, or
Oh, okay.
Sid guitars. Well, they have it's just a different cover, because some people said, well, why is there a gold foil there? It's not a gold foil. It's a puff with a different cover. That's it.
Well, but the looks, the aesthetic of the pickup, it's beautiful. It's beautiful
Thank
and
you. Yeah.
matches with the with the finish of the guitar
Yeah,
perfectly. I really
yeah.
love the aesthetics.
Yeah, it's nice. But and then when you just could have a look on the back, that's a little bit more modern. So the neck heel is different. So you have a very easy access to the higher notes. It's well, it's more comfortable to play, and that's the and then also the let's say the radius of this cutaway is slightly different, so it's not 100% typical S style body made in the, I don't know, early 60s, but
Yeah,
it's still I mean, you have to look twice. I would say you
that's right.
have to look twice. The first few you don't see. uh,
Well, yeah, the impressions that I have when I see this guitar is that just by the looks like a classic, the classic typical
yeah,
guitar, with the humbucker, but looks more classic than
yeah,
anything, especially maybe because of the Relic as well, that makes it look in that vibe, but then when you start paying attention to the little details, you see it has a modern take, the
yeah.
22 frets and the access to the upper frets and everything. And of course, it's the first Maybach guitar with a Vegatrem. Is that right?
That is right. I mean, with that was the idea behind everything, because we said, well, there are lots of modern guitars in the market available, and our task was, and then our hopefully our goal is now that we could, let's say, show a modern thing, let's say a modern guitar uh, with a Vegatrem, but in an old look. So the
Got it.
package is, you have this vintage vibe even when you have a modern guitar, but you have this vintage vibe. That's it. And this was the idea, and so we could really achieve it together with, I have to say, with Nick Page,
Okay.
who is really the guy that is responsible for making the neck as well. I would say it's super high, comfortable to play, and also the shape of the backside, which is very important.
Yeah.
And once you have this guitar in your hands, you feel it right away that there is something different, and the guitar plays. Andrea said, "Well, it's like a Formula One car. It's the guitar is amazing
Uh-huh.
in all respects." Yeah.
Well, let's watch another video that I have prepared in which Andreas is talking about it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have it here. This one. Okay, let's put it here.
Hello, Jan Martel here with a Maybach Superfly Stradivari custom shop guitar in Aztec gold nitrocellulose lacquer with a swamp ash body and a maple neck, oil waxed maple neck. Great feeling here, very smooth. Brazilian rosewood fretboard with 22 frets, right? 22. It goes way high. Ha! We have an Amber Spirit of 59 humbucker here with a gold foil cap, and we have two Van Zandt single coil pickups, and last but not least, we have that great smooth Vegatrem VT1, which can do everything from smooth to dive bomb. And this thing stays in tune, man. It's great. A Maybach Superfly Stradivari custom shop Nick Page guitar with a VT1 Vegatrem. My name is Martella. Thanks for watching.
Wow. That's amazing. Let's talk about this guy because he's an amazing player, of course.
He is. He's a fantastic player, and he's a good friend, and he's a wonderful man. I mean, it's Andreas is always helpful, and he gives important comments. That's really important for us. And to close, that was one of your first questions. If we are working together with musicians, and you
Yes.
said, yes, we do.
Okay.
And
He's the proof.
yeah, definitely. And he gives always good comments. He said, well, maybe we have to make this modification here and there. I mean, as I would say, each manufacturer that has ideas and visions, it's important to work with musicians together. Otherwise, I mean, you get lost.
Yeah, of course. So do you rely a lot on feedback like from people like him, for instance, or
Yeah.
other players around you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, of course, we get lots of, I don't know, ideas and comments and stuff. I mean, then if you don't know the people, I mean, you can say, okay, but if you would follow all advices and things, I think we would not build guitars.
Oh,
We would
well.
always improve and improve. No,
Yeah.
but Andreas, I mean, the good thing is he is a very serious guy.
Okay.
He's still, and you hear it yourself, the audience too, a very professional and active musician. If Corona allows to tour,
Yeah.
he will be on tour, I guess, I don't know exactly, April, May or so, with his incredible pack. They just released a brand new CD, which I can recommend to all music lovers,
Uh-huh.
because it's really true blues rock
Okay.
coming from the heart, and
Nice.
he's
That's my jam.
yeah,
Blues rock.
he's and they have three musicians. There is one fantastic drummer and bass player, and him. So incredible pack, very good.
So do they tour all over Germany and rest of
Yes,
Europe as well?
Germany for sure, but I mean, everybody knows that because of Corona, there is, I mean,
Yeah.
there are big question marks in the sky.
Yes.
Many years ago, there was Judy in the sky. No, Judy in disguise. Sorry,
Yeah.
but now it's Corona in the skies. No,
Yeah. Well,
forget
hopefully.
about it. Sorry.
No, no, no. It's all right. It's all right. Well, hopefully it all will pass soon,
Yeah,
or we're gonna learn how to live with this. But of course, live music needs to come back because otherwise, this world is, it's not worth living, right? Without live music, right?
sure.
Have you noticed uh, a lot of music? Of course, I know you're in touch with musicians, but probably a lot of people, staying home, not playing at all because of this. Yes, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, lots of people. I mean, I'm sure that it's probably around the world the same thing, that most of or lots of musicians, they had to find a job, an alternative job where they can make a living, and I think that lots of musicians maybe won't return because it's an insecure thing. This is what I have heard,
Yeah.
and because, as I said, we are in touch with lots of musicians, and I'm talking with guys almost every day, and sometimes you hear really sad stories, sometimes really funny and encouraging stories. So I mean, it's a divided scene in the meantime. I mean, there are the people, that have
Hmm.
searched or have been searching for a new job and will stay in that job.
Yes.
And then you have guys that are not in the job and or did not find a job and are waiting to tour again.
Yeah, because how was the music scene in Germany before Corona? Was it a very big? I guess it was a very big, like with a lot of a very
Yeah, it
busy
was.
music scene, right?
Yeah, it was pretty lively. We had lots of live clubs, as well. I mean, not as much as maybe in the Netherlands or in UK, but it was a pretty lively scene. And we had lots of big concerts also. But since uh, I don't know, March or so, March 2020, it's almost 2 years ago. It's
Oof, yeah, too long, too long. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and this is maybe not Maybach related question, but I'm curious. So, do you play music as well? Do you have your own band? Do you play around
no,
sometimes?
no, no. That's. I mean, that's being, let's say, the well, the CEO of Maybach. There are so many tasks. It's almost impossible for me to manage all of them. The good thing is I have my sons.
Okay,
There's my second oldest son, Sebastian. He's now the junior CEO, and he's running all the administration stuff. But there's still a lot of um, tasks and daily challenges that you need stuff. And if I would play in a band, I mean, you have to make rehearsals and this and
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's simply not possible.
It's complicated, I guess.
It's at least complicated, yeah.
But do you at least play at home in your
Yeah,
free
yeah, that,
time?
yes,
Play
that,
at home?
yeah. That's, but with this, all with practicing and things like I did well, 20, 30 years ago. No, it's impossible.
Got it. But
So
so
that's why what in terms of advices and stuff, things, I'm happy to have very good friends. They know me also from long time ago. I can trust, and they really helped us and give us advices and help us to improve the guitars.
got it, got it.
And lots of our guys are playing guitar.
Yeah.
Almost everybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, normally in this business, if you're not a musician, it's pretty rare, right? At least you know how to play just a couple of things, right? Well, at least, even if you're just painting instruments or doing something else, but
Sure, sure, yes.
maybe you can pick up a guitar and play a couple of chords for sure, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's the
Okay.
good thing. And
Yeah,
then the guitar is easy. You can take it from here and there. I mean, with the piano, it's a little bit difficult.
or with the drums, right? It's a little more difficult.
Well, yes. Yeah.
That's the greatest advantage in our instrument. You can take it with you. You can
You're
move
right.
it
Yeah,
everywhere you want, and that's pretty nice. Okay, let's talk about the discount code that we're gonna use for tonight. So the discount code tonight is Maybach 35. Maybach, and then the numbers 35. El código de descuento de esta noche es Maybach 35, Maybach 35. That's a discount code. You guys can go to the website and get a VT1 with the discount, which is a very, very cool thing, of course. Well, Tony, thank you very much. I've had such a good time, and I hope you had a good time as well talking with us,
absolutely.
and letting us know about your amazing brand. I have to tell you, I've never tried one, but I really, really want to try one because they look amazing, and as Andreas, made it sound out of this world. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love them.
You should. You should. Let me know. And thank you very much, Sefo, for your invitation. It was a pleasure to be here. And thank you, folks, for watching. And if you have questions, send us an email. We will help you.
Yeah, there you go. You guys have you guys have the email if in case you guys have any questions or whatever. And of course, we're gonna keep doing this every 2 weeks, of course, with new guests. But check it out. Check Maybach guitars. They're amazing. I'm pretty sure you guys are not gonna be disappointed. So again, thank you, Tony. I guess I'll see you around, and everybody else.
We're in touch anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Thank
everybody
you.
else.
Thank you, folks, for watching. Have a nice evening and bye.
Okay, so see you next time. Till next guitar chat, be safe, be happy, and play a lot your guitar. Bye bye.
Bye.